A long day at the Condren Ballpark yesterday. It was a doubleheader, one by Tennessee, one by the Gators. That means today a rubber match here on a nice Saturday night of college baseball, and we've got you here on the SEC Network. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Cardozo, BT Riopel, and Nick Belmonte. Alongside, well, we've got the Kentucky Derby running in about 30 minutes or so. So, Nick, right now you've got these two teams at the gates, and they're ready to get after it, aren't they?
Well, down the stretch we come in the season, about 3 furlongs left. And how about this? If the Gators win this game, they will have gone 5-4 against the number 1, the number 2, and number 3 teams in the nation. This team can play with anybody.
Yeah, really, really big game. And, PT, we thought coming in it would be really, really big offensive fireworks throughout this entire thing, but that certainly hasn't been the case. You look at the numbers, and they're all over first, second, third in the league. So what's gone on so far?
You hit it right on the head. Coming into the weekend, we really talked about these two high-powered offenses coming in, but what shined the most is the pitching. You know, one thing for me, whoever's going to win this series, one of those offenses is going to have to shine the most, put up the most runs on the board, and we're going to see who wins here soon.
Well, it's been very tough for teams to score off of that guy. Jack Caglione on the mound. He has not lost a game this season, and Kevin O'Sullivan probably very happy that he is on the mound for the Gators today.
Yeah, Cags is a guy that they count on. You see the record, 5-0, fastball 95. We've seen it touch 98, and even a tick above, slider change. And I'll tell you, get deep. And when I say that, I mean get you 5 and 6 innings and save that bullpen. If he does that, they'll be in good shape today.
Well, the Tennessee lineup that he is facing, hitting .322 on the year, and this guy has had a great series. Blake Burkhill hitting the 2-hole, 4 hits already. Christian Moore, a sensational leadoff man, and Billy Amick hit a big homer yesterday. Then it's Tiers, Dreiling, and Curley, and then Ensley, Backus, and Cal Stark. Their leader, Tony Vitello, in his 7th year. Gators wearing their normal Sunday orange, of course, today on a Saturday, which was supposed to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Thought it was going to rain. It looked like they were going to put the tarp on during batting practice, but a lot of that weather has moved out of the way. Still the potential of it coming later, but right now, sunshiny skies, 85 degrees here in Gainesville, and the wind blowing in just slightly from left center field. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some college baseball. Big, big matchup as the third-ranked Tennessee Volunteers will try to win here in Gainesville. Cags ready to go, so are we, and the first pitch is perfect. Fastball right down the heart of the plate at 6:32. Christian Moore likes to bob his head a lot. He is very enthusiastic in the batter's box, and that is a good changeup right there. And BT, I think that's been the difference with Cags this year, throwing that changeup.
Yep, talked about it over and over. When he's on, his changeup's on. It's really good extension down the mound, and everything plays off of that.
Another changeup and a slow roller. This is going to be a tough play. Cags off the mound, though. Throw is a little wide of the bag, and Heyman unable to hang on to it. So, well, they're going to call a base running interference as he was inside the bag. We've seen this happen to the Gators several times this year, and Tony Vitello is irate coming out of that third base dugout.
You know, if I'm Tony Vitello, that is a tough call. I mean, the rule is the runner has to establish the baseline inside at the 45-foot mark, be inside the baseline, and, you know, that's just a tough play. It's tough for the umpire to call. It's tough to make that call, and that's tough for everybody, honestly.
Well, this happened to the Gators just last week, and you can see where he's running. They're going to call you out every time on that play where it is. It's weird in the game of baseball that the base is in fair territory, so a straight line from the batter's box would be straight down the line towards the base. However, the rules state if there's a collision, you have to be to the right, which is actually on the other side of the base.
And if you ask me, this is got to be the number one thing in focus mid-season. This is the most apparent thing that goes on, the biggest challenges and the biggest crucial moments where this is tough. The guy's running right.
So they're going to review it, and it's not going to get overturned because it's very similar to what happened to the Gators in Arkansas last week with Tyler Shelnut. Sully thought it was going to be first and third. Shelnut ends up getting called out on a bunt play, but there is a reason that, and you talked about it, that 45-degree line, Nick, it was a point of emphasis in the offseason. All the umpires got together with all the coaches and said, we're going to be watching for this. You have to stay inside of that line.
And clearly he doesn't. The argument always is, well, where else is he going to go? It's just one of those weird rules that, he isn't going to go anywhere else. He's going where his body's supposed to go. But if there happens to be a collision, Yeah, that's what's going to happen every time. So, like you said, the Gators got burned with that last week, and they get rewarded with it this week.
So Tony Vitello has calmed down. He understands that the call was right after the review, and he gives the guy a high five for squibbing a bunt.
And that was a tough situation, but watching Kaggs bounce off the mound right there to be able to get there in time and make a play is pretty impeccable. So, you know, covered up by a crucial play there, but really good job by Kaggs.
Yeah, shows you how athletic he is, and that has certainly ignited that Tennessee dugout. They are chirping at the very top of it as the first pitch, a breaking ball that didn't do much, hits Blake Burke, and Tennessee's going to have a base runner anyway.
It's so important for Tennessee because they really didn't swing the bats all that well, at least comparative to what their stats said coming in. So it's going to be important for them to strike early in this ball game. I think the more the Gators get the momentum, they'll carry it over from yesterday's ball game.
So Caglione to the stretch, and a first pitch changeup to Billy Amick is good for strike one.
Yeah, that combio, there it is again.
And to your
Great
point
pitch
there, Nick, the Tennessee Vols, they really haven't swung the bat well the last two games, and that's exactly why they tried to get Kavares Tears in today in the DH spot. Coming off a little hip stuff right now, but really need him in there to provide that power that they need.
And it actually really goes a little further than that. You look back to last week, they beat Missouri just twice 3-2. So they didn't swing the bat. They lost to Lipscomb. Yeah. It was their first midweek loss all season. So they came into Gainesville struggling a little bit, swinging the bat. And Amick misses badly there.
To your point, 3 out of their last 4 SEC games, they've only scored 3 runs.
Amick hit a towering home run yesterday in the 8th inning to make it a 1-run game. That was on a fastball. He has not gotten one from Caglione here. 1-2, another changeup, and he'll head back to the dugout.
Just established the changeup right now. We talk about it all the time. We just talked about it a few seconds ago, but he's just continuously doing, and I think Kaggs is going to continue to do it until the Vols figure out how to hit it.
I mean, that pitch, you talk about tunneling, that pitch looks like it's going to be a fastball outer third. The hitter's going to go get it, and all of a sudden just dives off at the end of the table at the end.
So now, even though a lefty is on the mound, Kavares Tears is going to make his first start of the weekend. So left-on-left matchup, and that one's chopped right to Shellnut. He'll gobble it up, throw across in plenty of time, and that will retire the Tennessee Vols. And that's how we get going here in inning number 1. At the bottom of the first, Gators will grab their DeMarinis and head to the plate. Kevin O'Sullivan wrote up a different type of batting order today. Kate Curlin back in the leadoff spot after not being there in about 3 weeks. Then Jack Caglione, Ty Evans moves down to the 3-hole. And it's Colby Shelton, Tyler Shellnut, and a guy that's had a really good series. Brody Donay, a couple of homers. And then Luke Heyman, Hayden Yost, and Jalen Guy will make his first start in center field this weekend. And they will go against the wily veteran from Buford, Georgia, Xander Seacrest.
Yeah, and he's not going to wow you. 90-91, that's going to be his top out. Great changeup, though. His combio is good. Curve slider. And how about this? They have not lost the game he has pitched in this year.
So very similar to what the Gators have done with Jack Caglione on the mound. So it should be a really good battle between a couple of lefties. And the interesting part, BT, and maybe you can explain this, Florida struggled in the first game yesterday against guys throwing 90-91, but they're able to hit 95-96. So it seems like it would be the opposite, but it does seem like the slower throwers have really kept this Gator offense off balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're very comfortable with things that you see all the time. So the Gators are built with those hard-throwing guys. You see guys in the league throwing hard throwers. So they're almost unicorns in the league now, where you call them thumbers, where they're a little bit slower. They mix in and out of the zone, a little bit slower pitches and bigger discrepancies between pitches. It's tougher to hit for sure.
Yeah, we brought up yesterday the Carson Finvold game.
Oh, yeah.
Where he came in, thumbing it up there, and it's a game in Gator lore. It will go on forever.
I think you can look back at a lot of big games over the years where those guys have been able to keep hitters off balance. So Curlin back in the leadoff spot, and he almost gets hit with a first pitch breaking ball. That one floats in there at just 71 miles an hour. Curlin had a good day yesterday. A couple of hits in the second game, a couple of hits in the first game. He's got 4 singles so far this weekend. And that one a little bit high for ball 2.
367 in the on-base percentage. And one thing we know about Curlin, he's not afraid to get hit with the pitch 12 times this year.
There's a fastball, and it's a good one at the knees for the first strike of the game. Curlin has now hit in 9 of the last 12. The average starting to creep up. It's at 267 now. And another breaking ball is fouled off down the third base line. Wind not really a factor at all today for these two teams that hit a lot of homers. Just kind of sitting there, and has been coming in throughout most of what we saw before the game. Now the 2-2, and Curlin stays alive. He's done a better job of being able to now go to right field, and I think that has made a difference.
And that's really the strength of his game at the plate anyways, kind of staying through the middle of the field, right center field gap. That's kind of his target, and has battling a little bit of a hand thing too, so it's hard to pull the ball with his top hand.
And there he goes. Right center field gap. That'll go shopping. And that's a good job by the right fielder to slow things down. But Curlin gives the Gators a good start.
And this is what Curlin was doing at the beginning of the year, and it just kind of fell off. And right now, this is coming in at the right time with this Gator team. Him at the leadoff spot, going with it. Pitches outer third, keeps his hands back and barrels it up. Nice job of hitting. You can see right there, shoulder, hips, everything, thighs, right where that ball was going in right center.
So Tennessee will shift on Jack Caglione. First time all year that we've seen a team basically take 5 guys and make them outfielders. And Cags hits it right to where the shift was, and the shortstop Dean Curley will haul it in.
To me right there, they're in the shift with Cags, and you can't do it now, but they're in the shift so far over. Cade Curlin can get off a little bit and really get a good jump to go to third base right there and steal a bag. There's no way that they were to back pick and the guys occupying the base to be able to throw Curlin out on a back pick. I think he kind of missed there, but plenty of game left with Seacrest still pitching.
Yeah, Caglione stays aggressive.
And one of the things you have to worry about, though, with the left-handed hitter up, too, the catcher's throw to third base. Plus, with nobody out, it's a little chancy.
So now Ty Evans moves down a couple of spots from where he's been hanging out the last month or so in the leadoff spot, and he'll drill one deep to left field. Dreiling's going to look at it, but he's going to run out of room in a hurry. And right at the top of the berm, Ty Evans gives the Gators a 2-0 lead with lucky homer number 13.
You can see the Gators offense have a plan right now. They're really attacking that off-speed stuff that Seacrest has all in his arsenal up and down the board. He's shown it over and over and over. So the Gators really do have a good plan right now of maximizing it in the first inning.
There it is right here. And he's going to keep his hands back on this hanging slider. And he knew it as soon as he hit it. This ball is attacked and buggy whipped to left field over to the berm area.
It's the 8th homer that Seacrest has given up this year. It was 100 miles an hour off the bat, distance of 414, and the Gators an early 2-0 lead.
How about that, Sully? 2 for 2 in changing of the lineup. Curlin getting on at the leadoff with a double, and Evans here batting in the 3-hole.
Yeah, how about that?
A home run, outstanding.
Well, yesterday was the first game as Shelton hits one into the shift. Moore will come in and get it. Yesterday was the first game all year that the Gators got a lead in SEC play and never relinquished it. So for the first time, they led from wire to wire in winning the 4-3 decision in that second game of the doubleheader. So we'll see if they can do it again in back-to-back days.
The pitching was outstanding yesterday in that mid-relief for the Gators. I mean, what Liam Peterson did, what Fisher Jameson did, incredible stuff.
Tyler Shelnut now the hitter. A little tardy on a 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Senior from Lake City's got 12 homers and a .256 batting average. Couple of hits in the series. He's laid on another fastball for strike 2.
And that's one thing to look at too is, as a fan looking at that, he's like, oh, he's only throwing 88, 89 miles an hour. How do you're late on a fastball? Well, he's so used to seeing all these slow stuff. Even the slower guys that throw it looks a little bit harder.
And that is 3 fastballs to sit Shelnut down. But the crowd came to their feet on this Ty Evans swing. He got a breaking ball, didn't miss it. And just like that, number 2 gives the Gators a 2-0 lead heading to the second. Well, Ty Evans gets bumped down to the 3 hole, so he says, I guess I need to show off some power. And that's exactly what he did in the first inning. The Gators get a couple of hits, a double and a homer, and lead it now as we start inning number 2. Caglione threw just 9 pitches in the first inning. 7 of them were strikes, and he will face 5, 6, and 7 now in the Tennessee order.
It's taking him a while to get up to the plate here. Umpire saying, let's go.
And you can see Kevin O'Sullivan in the background there saying, let's go. And the first pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Chris Smith has his head in the dugout. A lot of chirping here in the early going. A great crowd here at the Condren Ballpark today. Both of these teams know the importance of this game. Tennessee still in contention to try to win the overall league race. Arkansas and Kentucky have split their series after Kentucky came back and won today. Good fastball by Kaggs, and he's quickly ahead of Dreiling, a ball and 2 strikes. And a breaking ball that hung is going to be deposited into straightaway center field. So Dreiling with a leadoff hit, and Tennessee has their first one of the day. So the fastball and the changeup have been good by Caglione. That breaking ball, not so good. He had to maneuver through a lot of traffic in Arkansas last week. Razorbacks had a couple of guys on in each of the first 2 innings, but Caglione able to wiggle out of it. Here's the freshman shortstop, Dean Curley. And the first pitch to him a little bit low on a changeup.
Athletic kid we saw make some plays yesterday defensively, swung the bat pretty good.
Yeah, he's a big guy for a shortstop with a really strong arm. Another changeup and a swing and a miss will even up the count.
And they didn't hand him the shortstop job either. He came in and Tony Vitello said there's 4 guys were vying for it, and he just won it out as a freshman.
It's from California. And we'll take that fastball in. And not only defensively has he been good and showed off that arm, he's second among freshmen in the league in doubles, RBI, and slugging percentage. Similar body to Josh Rivera.
Josh starting to heat up in Double-A. Had some back-to-back good nights.
Another changeup is fouled straight back.
And Josh is not playing too far away from Knoxville. Sevierville, Tennessee Smokies, starting shortstop at Double-A.
That closed stance by Curley as he gets right on top of home plate. And this one is a souvenir about 5 rows in, just past the Gator dugout.
Talked about it a lot yesterday too, but these Vols have been unbelievable with 2 strikes. I mean, they have countless hits. I think they had double digit between the 2 games yesterday, 2 strike hits. You had another one this inning to start out the inning by Dreiling. Look to see it, that's a factor in the game as well. How many times can Kaggs put the guys away with 2 strikes off a team that's done, had a lot of success with 2 strikes?
Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball chop right to Curlin. He'll flip it to Shelton for 1. Throw is good, and pitcher's best friend will retire a couple of Tennessee Vols here in the second inning.
You can see Kaggs has definitely leaned on his off-speed so far, and I think Curley was thinking the exact same thing. Got a fastball in the inner half a little bit late, jammed him, got a perfect 4-6-3 tailor-made double play for the Gators.
And that had to be a good feed because Curley runs well down the line. Shelton on the back end. What a good toss. The first Kaggs loves it.
So 2 outs now for Hunter Ensley, and he'll foul off a fastball.
This would be a great shutdown inning for Kaggs if he can get this crowd in. This could be a big crowd here tonight.
Little overflow from the great softball game earlier.
Yeah, walk-off win for the Gator women over Texas A&M. Now have clinched that series. It was senior day over there today.
Yeah, and that basically means that they will be insured the 2 seed at the SEC tournament.
That is correct.
Another breaking ball by Caglione, not so good, but the changeup has been really good. This one out to Curlin again. He'll come get it, fire over to first in time, and side is retired. So Cags faces a minimum after the double play, and the Gators will come to bat in the second with a 2-0 lead. Well, these two schools have really gotten after it with each other over the last decade or so. Florida leads the all-time series by a pretty significant margin, and of course tied at 1 apiece. Tennessee has won 11 of the last 15, though. They swept the Gators 2 years ago here in Gainesville, but Florida went up to Knoxville last year and took 2 out of 3.
One thing that sticks out to me, too, is the last 2 meetings between these two schools, the away team has won and has really taken advantage of, the deficiencies in the offense of the home team the last 2 years. So interesting to see what's going to happen this year, too.
Here's Brody Donay. Takes ball 1 and now ball 2. Kevin O'Sullivan, 27-22 all time against the Vols. The only team he's got a losing record against is Arkansas. Pretty special what Sully has been able to do. Donay lines one, but right at the center fielder, and Hunter Ensley barely has to move for out number 1.
Well, Xander Sechrist, the lefty, was born a righty. But when he was 2 years old, he broke his arm, his right arm. And from that moment on, he became a southpaw.
Yeah, I tried to tie my son's arm behind his back for several years. It didn't work. Make him a lefty. They've just got life easier when it comes to baseball, at least. Heyman pops one a mile high out to the first baseman. Blake Burke will stare up into that blue sky and haul it in for out number 2.
I'll tell you, if you're trying to find golf clubs being a lefty, it's not easy.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
That is not easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of left-handed baseball players that actually play golf right-handed.
And all the hockey players play left-handed.
Yeah. They're used to that slap shot. Speaking of lefties, here's one. Hayden Yost looking for his first hit of the weekend, though. But he's been robbed several times. He has certainly swung it better than what the stats say. Freshman from Tampa entered this weekend with a 5-game hitting streak, but 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts against the Volunteers. A fastball off the plate.
Yeah, Hayden Yost went to Sickles High School about 4 miles from Tampa Bay Downs, where Domestic Product won the Tampa Bay Derby. And they'll be running in today's Derby.
Yost puts a little charge into that one, but Ensley will have plenty of room to go over and get it. And that is an easy 1-2-3 inning for Xander Sechrist. So Gators go down in order. We'll head to the third. 2-0 Florida. Well, we move to the third, and it is 6:58 Eastern Time. Kentucky Derby was supposed to start at 6:57, so they are running right now, I'm sure, and we are running off to a fast start in this one. Ty Evans, a 2-run homer, has the Gators with a 2-0 lead. And Jack Caglione will get back to work. 8-9-1 will come up for the Tennessee Volunteers, and the first pitch changeup is in there to Colby Backus. Backus is from the same hometown as Steve Spurrier, Johnson City,
yes,
Tennessee. There's a fastball, and that one is a little bit inside.
I have something in common with the old ball coach. We were both born at St. Francis Hospital in Miami Beach.
How about that?
Yeah.
That changeup a little low. And Chris Smith having a conversation with Colby Backus. He's a .435 hitter. And he misses a changeup.
Boy, that pitch has just been dialed in from the get-go.
He's making just his 3rd start of the year, but he's 10 for 23 at the plate with 4 homers. Another changeup, and Cag says head back to that third base dugout.
Yeah, Cass got really good comfortability with this changeup right now, as you can see. Maybe not so much with his fastball and his slider, a little bit more erratic, but hopefully he can dial those two in to really build his arsenal and use all of them as time goes on throughout the game.
Now the 9-hole hitter, Cal Stark. He's from Knoxville, so he got to stay in town and go to college as Caglione backs him off the plate.
And you've seen coaches do this through the years. You get a guy out there with a great changeup, say left-hander. You start putting lefties in the lineup to negate it because that takes away the guy's best pitch. I know Pat McMahon used to do that all the time.
There's that changeup again. But how hard is that when you're watching film and you're saying, man, this guy can throw at 98, 99, so you're probably in your mind saying, I've got to hit a fastball, and then he just keeps throwing that thing up there.
Oh.
For me, you have to cheat one pitch. It's whatever he's throwing the most that day or whatever is your strength. If you're a fastball hitter, go up there and cheat a fastball because you can't hit every single one of his pitches that he's throwing. If he throws 98-mile-an-hour fastball and a 78-mile-an-hour changeup, that's too big of a difference.
Now the 1-2, they come fastball, and that one is lined straight back where it came from. That'll fall in front of Jalen Guys. So fastball and the breaking ball have gotten hit. Changeup not so much, and that's the second hit of the day for the Volunteers.
So there you go, Stark a little bit early on the changeups. Obviously Backus was as well. Came up there hunting a fastball, and he got it right down the center cut of the plate. And another 2-strike hit by the Vols.
Both of them today have been that. And both of them straight back up the middle. So a good approach. That's what Christian Moore has done this weekend. He's got several hits right back up the middle. Had 2 singles in the first game yesterday, and then 2 more singles in the second game, and all 4 of them basically went over the bag at second base. Another changeup, and
that's a
that
sign
is
of a
off the
good
plate.
hitter. That's a really good sign of a good hitter, is that you don't always have your power numbers every single weekend, but to have the ability and the willingness to just hit the ball up the middle and do a job for your team, get on base, shows the maturity that Moore's had in his junior year now.
And time called at the plate by Brody Donay. Yeah, Moore has 14 homers in league play. The next best for Tennessee is 9. And of course the 20 overall. Been a special season for Christian Moore. There's a fastball, and it's fouled straight back.
Got him set up for the change here. Showed him the fastball at 94. Let's see if Moore makes the adjustment.
He's reached base in 11 straight games. And the 1-2, there is the changeup, hit right to Heyman. He'll go to second for 1, throws a little high, so that's going to mess up the ability for Shelton to throw it, and then he throws it straight into the Gator dugout.
Yeah, it's one of those where maybe you put that in your pocket. It was a slow developing play because of the spin on the ball, having to go all the way from first to second. You got a fast runner going down the line as well.
And you don't want to make one mistake turn into 2, and not that that was a mistake because it was an out at second base, but a high throw, tough to come back and make another really good throw back to first base, especially with Heyman moving back towards the bag. That's the one you just want to put in your pocket, absolutely, Nick.
Yeah, he couldn't step into it at all, and that gives Tennessee a 2-out runner in scoring position for Blake Burke. And a changeup to him for strike 1. Burke was hit by a breaking ball on the first pitch that he saw. At .391 batting average, 3rd best in the league. And a very tough out as Caglione misses off the plate with a fastball there. Another fastball, and Burke misses it.
Just straight cheese against cheese. Here's my best. See what you got.
Here's the 1-2, and it's chopped foul. 96-mile-an-hour fastball that time.
It's a big at bat in this game. A base hit here possibly scores a run, gets Tennessee dugout in their momentum going. And out here gets this crowd going crazy, keeps the Gators momentum going on their side.
Yeah, especially because when you look at Tennessee and what they've done all weekend, it's really just been the top of the
That's
order.
Right. Yeah.
So
this is one guy that's been delivering.
Yeah, they have to produce. Here's another 1-2 pitch, and it's fouled off again. Another one at 96.
And it's going to get to the point as the game unfolds where the pressure is going to mount on Moore and Burke to get it done because they're not getting help down with the rest of the guys. Think about this. The 2 games yesterday, they struck out 29 times. I mean, that's incredible. They've been averaging, just around 9 strikeouts a game.
1-2, change up. And Burke does a good job of laying off of it.
Which with a power hitting team like Tennessee, that's kind of what you tend to see with a bunch of power hitters is you have a little bit higher strikeout numbers, but you run the ball out of the yard to make up for it. But Tennessee has been a really all-around sound baseball team offensively.
Another fastball, and that one is by Burke. And Caglione strikes out a couple in the inning and leaves that runner stranded in scoring position. So we'll move to the bottom of the third. Gators still holding a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the third here at the Condren Ballpark, where Florida leads it 2-0. Each team with a couple of hits, but a big blast by Ty Evans. The difference right now, well, Tony Vitello has decided to go to the bullpen after just 2 innings. Xander Seacrest, his afternoon is over, and it'll be the 16th appearance now for Nate Snead.
And Nate Snead, as you said, 16th appearance, and this is a guy that can light up the radar gun. He can almost hit triple digits, so we'll see if he has that. The breaking ball's a work in progress, so he's pretty much fastball dominant guy, a transfer from Wichita State.
Seacrest went 4 innings against Missouri last weekend, gave up a couple of runs. His shortest outing in SEC play this year was the 2 innings at Auburn, where he gave up 3 hits and 3 runs.
I don't know. Coach V may not have liked what he had seen out of Seacrest. I talked before the game, and I said, well, what are you thinking on Seacrest? He said, well, we're going to ride him as long as we can. But I guess he didn't like the swings the Gators were putting on him.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want him facing the top of the order again. So it'll be 9-1-2 for the Gators. There you see Tony Vitello. A couple of 50-win seasons. And a great winning percentage there, now in his 7th year. Amick will play even with the bag as Guy comes to the plate and takes a fastball high. That one really high, velocity-wise, 101.
Yeah, as advertised.
So there's the difference. You got somewhat of a softer lefty as Guy chops this one to second. No problem for Moore. And the sidearm toss over to first is in plenty of time.
You know what's interesting, too? A guy that's throwing over triple digits, you would think if you look at his stat line that the strikeouts would be astronomically high, just blowing it by people. That's not really the case. 46 innings, 37 strikeouts. That's not something you would predict out of a guy throwing 100 to 101 mile an hour. You would think at this level it'd be a lot higher.
Here's Cade Curlin.
Completely agree with you, Nick. But sometimes, I mean, as a hitter, if you know something's coming, you can cheat it. I mean, the difference between knowing what's coming and not knowing what's coming is pretty crazy for a bunch of really good hitters. So if they know a fastball's coming, if that's what he's going to throw predominantly, majority of the time, it's a lot easier to hit no matter how fast it is, but it is still 100 miles an hour.
But I'm taking into consideration some of the non-SEC competition he's faced, and I would think he would dominate some of those teams.
For sure.
That one way off the plate for ball 3, and Cal Stark is taking a deep breath, encouraging Nate Snead to do the same. Snead taking a while, now ready. And there is a strike. But it does seem like, too, and I completely agree with your point, because you guys have all this technology now, and you go to these hitting facilities, you can set the pitching machine on 100, so you can go get used to seeing those types of pitches.
Absolutely. Not only seeing that he throws, 75+% fastballs out of all the pitches that he throws, but that he only throws 20% strikes with his off-speed pitches. So it's like, I'm going to eliminate his off-speed pitch. If he spins me one over for a strike, that's okay. We'll move on to the next one, because majority of the time you are going to get a fastball down the middle of the plate more times than not, and that's what you're looking to hunt and hit anyway.
Snead's got a good job of coming back in the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Curlin gets ready, and he chases 96 up in his eyes, so there is a strikeout.
And I'm going to counter what both you guys are saying. You look at any of the big league pitchers that are out there right now that are throwing 100 or higher, their strikeouts, and you're talking about going after big league hitters, are way above innings pitched. So that's why, again, and you can see it right there, that ball exploded at triple digits.
But here's Caglione. And a breaking ball right back our way, but a little too high.
You know, you set a pitching machine at 101. You know where it's coming from. You don't have to deal with the delivery, where the arm angle's coming, and actually the heat of the moment of the game. That all comes into play when you're trying to hit this live.
That went in, and we'll even up the count after a 101-mile-an-hour fastball misses in off the plate. Caglione line to the shortstop, who was playing shallow center field his first time up. Trying to come in again, and it'll miss.
Looks like he's got a little cutter at, a little bit less than 100 at like 94, 95.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the breaking ball. They say it's a
That'd
work,
be nice.
a work in progress. Yeah.
And that one will catch the inner part of the plate at 98.
And that's, if you're going to beat Cags at all, it's going to be right on his inside knee or on his hip in there with a front door two-seamer is what we call it. So.
And they keep trying to do that. You saw the stats there when he's been on the mound. 6 homers this year when he's been the starting pitcher. 421 overall batting average. That's not easy to do, folks. And, of course, working on that 25-game hitting streak. And that'll extend to 26 with a line drive right back up the middle. So Cags turns around 98, and he is now 4 away from the UF school record.
That's exactly what Cags is trying to do right there. Got a bunch of pitches in on his hands, in on his hip right there, and wait for the pitcher to make a mistake over the plate. And when he does it, don't miss it. Don't do too much with 2 strikes. And hit a ball 100+ back at him.
Yeah, that's 101 with some run on it, and he was able to barrel it up. That's a little glimpse of what you're going to see at the next level from Mr. Cags.
So now Ty Evans. And he's a little late on 100. Evans got a breaking ball on the first pitch of his first at-bat and deposited it to the top of the berm in left field. 13th homer of the year. And Evans swings and misses again at a fastball.
Talked about it earlier as well, kind of shaking up the top of the order right now, moving Curlin to that leadoff spot, taking Ty out, moving him to the 3-hole. Seems like he's kind of settled in a little bit more. It does a little bit more damage with guys on base, so it's really helped out Ty for sure.
He only hit 9 homers last year, and of course 5 of them came in the College World Series. And BT, I still think that's the most fascinating thing. Everybody that's ever played in college baseball in Omaha, Ty Evans has more homers in a single World Series than anybody.
Very spectacular, and
this throw is going to get away, and that could be trouble. Caglione is going to round third and head for home. Right fielder's got some trouble picking it up, and a throwing error is going to give the Gators the 3rd run of the game. Billy Amick just sailed one away from Blake Burke. And that's the 2nd error of the weekend for Amick.
And what did we talk about yesterday? Put the ball in play. Good things will happen. We saw it with Curlin last night. Putting the ball in play ended up being a run because of it. Get the ball in play. Good things will happen. He just airmailed him. Now, for me, the right fielder, as soon as that ball's hit the 3rd, he's got to be sprinting over. I thought he was a little late getting over there.
And it happened to get tucked into that corner, so there wasn't a ton of ricochet there. And going back to your point on Ty.
Yeah, back on Ty, for everybody sitting at home, if you have a son or a daughter that wants to aspire to play collegiate athletics, just know that there's a bunch of good players out there. And when you show up on campus, you're not always going to be the guy. You're not always going to be the girl that's providing all of the power and the star power. There's a bunch of good players out there. So whenever you come to sports, keep your head down, work hard, because whenever your number gets called, make the most of it. That's one thing that Ty can say is that he didn't have a great year last year. he sat the bench a lot and watched a bunch of us play, but when he got his number called, when it meant the most in the College World Series in Omaha, obviously he maximized on his opportunity, hitting 5 home runs in College World Series. Spectacular.
How about you, Jeff? I mean, when you came to Florida, they didn't throw you in the starting rotation.
No,
as soon as you got
not
here,
at
you
all.
had to wait, right?
Sure, you had to wait and figure it out, but I think that's what you see now, and certainly on the broadcast side, but getting to be around it. I mean, there's a lot of guys that expect, because they were so good in high school, to play right away. And
especially when you come to Florida.
Yeah, if you're coming to Florida, that's
Florida's
not always going to be the
best of
case.
best, yeah.
So you've got to, and I tell all the high school kids that you work with and you're around right now, you're really good right now, but that should then make you want to even work harder.
Absolutely.
To get better, because you're just going to get lost in the shuffle when it's all said and done. And that guy right there has done a great job at developing players. Certainly now the transfer portal is going to change some of the things that he can do, and Coach Corbin can do, and a lot of these other coaches that have developed players over the years. Here's Shelton, goes after the first pitch, and that one's not handled by Burke, and Shelton's going to be safe. So another error by the Tennessee Volunteers will keep this in and going.
And that's a hot shot to first baseman at Burke right there. And Burke's been nails. We talked about it yesterday as well, the development that he's had on his defensive game. That's something he just blocked off, just kicked off his chest and went the wrong way. Tough break for the Vols, but once again, putting the ball in play and seeing what happens, Nick. And
the other thing, if you look at that play right there, the backup of there, just a little late getting over as well. Just assumed he was going to get it.
Especially in the shift, too. He's kind of over that way anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the Gators can take advantage of another error as Shelnut takes a fastball.
And that's important. Make this hurt. Make these errors hurt. Put up a big, crooked number if you can. That's demoralizing, and you can do that, especially if it's self-inflicted.
Shelnut is down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And you look at these middle guys in this order. Shelton came in, hit the big homer yesterday, but he was not really driving in runs like expected. Shelnut's kind of been in that spot of late. He has driven in just over the last 21 games. He's got 7 games where he's been able to drive in a run. And he'll pop this one up here. Should be an easy play for Christian Moore. He'll look up into the sunshine and make the catch to retire the side. Gators get just 1 hit, but a couple of Tennessee errors help Florida to get another run. And after 3, Florida leads by 3. A lot of people here at the Condren Ballpark on a beautiful Sunday evening. The Gators up 3-0 on third-ranked Tennessee as Jack Caglione gets back to the mound. Threw 20 pitches last inning, just 9 the first inning and 13 in the second. So he has thrown 42 over the first 3, and a lot of them like that, changeups. He struck out Billy Amick the first time he faced him on those changeups, and Amick swings and misses at one here. He has missed the baseball a lot this weekend. Amick has struck out now 5 times. But he's also got several hits, and that changeup right back up the middle. All 3 of Tennessee hits today are right back in front of Jalen Guy, the Gator center fielder.
With that extra run tacked on, another shutdown opportunity here for Cags to keep that momentum in the Gator dugout.
Tennessee got a leadoff single back in the second, but then Caglione was able to roll a double play ball. It was a 1-out single back in the third, and Tennessee could not score. They have stranded a couple through the first 3 innings. Here's Kavaris Tears, the cleanup man today, and that one just off the plate for ball 1. Tears top one to Shelnut, his first time up.
Talked about yesterday, Tony Vitale compared him to Jared Dickey, which is a nice compliment.
Good change up there to even up the count at a ball and a strike.
Tears another one of those guys that had to wait his turn. A very talented Tennessee team last year, came in minimal opportunities, and then obviously making the most of his opportunity this year, hitting 360 with double-digit home runs.
Fly ball to center. Guy will drift over to left center, and just shy of the track, he will stop and make the catch for out number 1.
Put a good charge in it. With Guy over there, fairly easy to make that play.
And this is that tough time of night here at the Condren Ballpark where center fielders, right fielders have some issues.
Yeah.
See Guy with his sunglasses on.
Yeah, center fielder's going to his left, and then right field straight on.
And you see what the sun's doing to everybody sitting out in those Adirondack chairs beyond the 380 sign in right center field. Here's Dylan Dreiling. He's late on a first pitch fastball.
And we have not seen the wind in this ballpark that much this weekend. It's starting to pick up to right field.
Dreiling singled his first time. Sophomore's hitting .316, and he takes the fastball right down the middle for strike 2. That might have been one of those where he was expecting an off-speed pitch, and the Gators just doubled up on him. Now the 0-2, that one way off the plate.
And that's crazy too with a bunch of the weather that's been popping up this weekend. You'd think the wind would be a little bit more of a factor, especially this time of year. It normally is, but really hasn't been.
That one just got a piece of the bat.
Seemed like the first couple of weeks of the SEC series that came in here, it was galing out. Either it was left center, right center. It was crazy.
So now helping lefties. The pitch, another pop-up. This one in the infield. Donay sheds the mask. He says he's going to get it, and he does. He's a little taller than Shellnut, who tried to steal it away, but it's out number 2.
They got a box out there.
I guess Brody Donay did a little bit of pop-up priority with Mike Rivera before the game today after what happened last night, but did a great job right there, throwing his mask out of the way, making it apparent that he's going to take the ball. Good catch. And the wind helped right there a little bit, keeping the ball in play, blowing out to right field, held it in.
Yeah, the little backspin plus.
There's Mike Rivera.
There's Mikey. Recent graduate, congratulations.
Yeah, big time.
Got his degree. See Taylor Black giving the defensive signals.
Baby just passed a year
about
old.
A year old, yeah. Been daddy for about a year.
So 2 outs now for Dean Curley. So on that play, what are you guys working on? Do they try to say, hey, catchers don't catch it? Or are they allowing you guys to take control if you feel like you've got it?
So it's a little bit different. So the ones down the line a little bit more, obviously dependent on the shift now because that's such a big factor in what happens and who takes it. But anything around that circle is yours all day long. You want to keep the pitcher away as much as possible. They don't work on it. Cags is a little bit different than that, but you really want to take that. And if the corner infielders call you off, it's technically their priority, so they would come and get it. It's a little bit easier for them coming in. But as a catcher, you want to take everything that you can, including bunts and anything right in front of the plate as well.
Curley's the guy that grounded into a double play his first time, but Caglione can't throw him a strike here. It's a 4-pitch walk and a couple of Vols on base here with 2 outs. And Kevin O'Sullivan is going to make his way out to the mound. And Sully does this a lot just to not really anything even tell Cags what to do, but it's more to just, hey, relax,
refocus,
slow down.
Yeah.
You're playing on both sides. You're hitting as well, and sometimes I would assume he gets tired, just needs a breather.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of a little bit of a reset, whether it be physically or mentally or both. A little bit of scouting for the guy coming up to the plate right now. What do we need to do so he can have 30 seconds to a minute to really focus and hone in on what he needs to do right here with 2 outs to get this guy out.
I got a question for you. We saw Donay and Cags talking to each other with their gloves up. Do people really think people read lips?
Hey, anything you can get as a competitive advantage,
well,
yes.
I would counter that by saying you're going to do the opposite I say as I talk to you, if you feel that's the case.
Yeah, would be a good way to do it. All right, Hunter Ensley, the hitter, and he'll change up a little bit low for ball 1.
I think more than anything, not so reading lips, Nick, as you know, but say you were to try to put a back pick or something on and you want to talk to the first baseman, you just don't make eye contact with him. You look at Cags and say, hey, Luke, I'm talking to you right here.
Yep.
Well, that's 6 in a row now by Caglione that have not crossed home plate. He got Ensley to ground out to second his first time up. And this is, again, the bottom part of the order for Tennessee that has struggled throughout the series. And there's a changeup for ball 3, so that's 7 in a row now.
Backus, the hitter on deck. See if they, definitely I would take one here.
He does. And it is strike one. Ensley hitting just 194 this year with runners in scoring position. And a good changeup will bring the count full. So good job by Caglione after 7 wide ones in a row. A couple of good pitches on the outer part of the plate. Now he'll try to finish off the inning. Here's the 3-2, and we'll do it again. Caglione went 4 innings in his start last week against Arkansas. 5 in the 2 starts before that. He'll try to finish off the 4th here. Another 3-2 pitch, and we'll do it again.
Well, nice job breaking up a nasty pitch right there. And you got to expand the zone, especially this part of the game. 2 outs. Got a couple of men on base. Last thing you're thinking about is taking strike 3 here.
So this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat now. As Caglione comes set again. The pitch, fastball, popped him up, and we'll have a 9th pitch. So a 9th pitch to number 9. Good battle here with Hunter Ensley. And again, this is something that Tennessee's been doing a lot this weekend. We'll see who wins the battle. As Caglione comes set again, the 3-2 pitch, and that one is hit well down the left field line. Yost going back, not going to get it. It's going to short hop the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes the relay throw to Shelton. He can't handle it, and a big, big double by Hunter Ensley with 2 outs and 2 strikes gets the Vols a couple of runs.
Another really good job with 2 strikes. 10 pitch at bat for Ensley right there. Got a fastball center cut down the plate. Did a lot of damage. Getting this game close.
And this is a bad break the Gators get here because that ball just stays right stuck at the wall because it gets out there so quick. Yost has to go get it, and that made them decide to send the runner right there because I think bounces off the wall. They had no choice but to hold him up at third base. Even though there were 2 outs, it would have gotten on him really quick. So kind of a bad break.
Well, Tennessee's going to send up a pinch hitter now. Colby Backus, the right fielder, will not get another at-bat after striking out his first time. Robin Villanueva, a right-hander who has started 22 games, will come in and hit.
Yeah, Backus, that was his first SEC start today.
A changeup just off the plate for ball 1.
And here you got another guy hitting pinch hit opportunity, hitting over 300 with 5 home runs with an OPS of 1,000. So they have guys off the bench that are just doing damage.
Better change up there, and that'll even up the count at 1-1. Ryan Slater is going to be the first up out in the Gator bullpen.
I would think as a pinch hitter, that'd be a pitch you'd be vulnerable to, the changeup. You're probably up there trying to just hack at a fastball.
And there it was again for strike 2.
You're not in the flow of the game, so you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to put a charge up when your buddy just hit one off the wall. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back there again.
They do, and it's down in the dirt.
And you look at his stance. I mean, it looks like he's straddling the dugout here. He's so far away from home plate with that open stance.
That's one of those stances that BT is going to use in the beer league softball when he starts playing in a few years. Change up again, got him, and that will retire the side. But Tennessee does some 2-out damage. Couple of hits in the inning and a big walk helped Tennessee get right back in it. It's a 1-run game here in Gainesville.
Well, the man's doing it with the combio, the changeup, Jack Caglione. This is how he got the final out. 3 changeups, getting pinch hitter out of the bench. Ah, the changeup. Like the lure of the siren song. Not what it seems to be, but yet who among us can resist the change?
Not me.
Not I couldn't resist it.
Donay, Heyman, and Yost. Now a 1-run game. So Nate Snead back to work. Hard throwing right-hander. This one hit right back up the middle, but Moore with a nice backhand will throw out Dene, and he is retired for the second time tonight.
And now this is an opportunity for Tennessee to throw up a shutdown point, keep the momentum in their dugout. So Gators need the counter here. I guess BT, you call these guys rebound runs, right?
Rebound runs, that's correct.
They need them.
Heyman steps in, 0 for 1. And a pop-up right behind the plate. Stark sheds a mask, and he's got it for out number 2.
Now it's time for Chuck Geralman to call that timeout right here. Talk to Hayden Yost.
There you see Chuck.
That's 2 quick outs.
And here we go.
On cue.
Yeah, just 3 pitches. And more than anything, just want to give Caglione a little rest. And you can see Chuck there that he's got nothing that he really needs to say or wants to say.
Actually, he just looked over at Josh Elander, who he coached at TCU. He was a player. He's the associate head coach for Tennessee, and gave him a little nod. Just let him know what he's doing. That's one of the cool, dynamics within the game of baseball. Obviously every sport, but definitely baseball, where some of the coaches have been in for so long now that you coach players, and those guys go into coaching as well, and you compete against the guys that you coach. It's pretty cool.
Now they call those player meetings, obviously, and you get so many in a game. But back in the day, you just tell the guy to retie your shoe.
Yep. Yost looked like he was taken until he got a strike, and now he's got one. 100-mile-an-hour fastball to even up the count at 1-1. Yost flew to center his first time. 0 for 9 in the weekend. He'll take that one down low.
Now the loophole in the system, Nick, is if you only have so many timeouts in the box in a game, where they say they just have something in their eye and they do it for a couple seconds and get back in the box.
There you go. My contacts.
Yost pops one up. Moore will drift out into shallow right field, and he's got it. A very easy inning for Nate Snead as the Gators go down quickly and quietly. We'll head to the 5th, 3-2 Florida. Top of the 5th here at the Condren Ballpark. Alongside Nick Belmonte and BT Riopel, I am Jeff Cardozo. Happy you have joined us here on a Saturday night. Those of you at your derby parties, I know the favorite didn't win, but if you had Mystic Dan in the pool, I'm sure that you are happy today. Sierra Leone was second, and Forever Young was third.
Yeah, how about that? Silverleaf Hills Training Center in Ocala. That's where
that guy's
Mr. Mystic Dan did.
That guy's a stallion.
Oh, yeah.
The Italian stallion.
Yeah.
Well, that's Rocky. Never mind.
He can be called a lot of things, but a really good college baseball player is probably the best. And certainly a guy that has helped this Gator baseball team, and he's trying to put them on their back again, win another game that he throws. Caglione come into this game 5-0 on the year. And there's a swing and a miss to the 9-hole hitter, Cal Stark. Stark singled up the middle off of Caglione the first time he faced him. That was back in the 3rd inning. And tipped into the glove for strike 2.
And Cags desperately needs a quick inning right here. I mean, with an 18-inning day yesterday, he used a lot of bullpen guys. They're not as fresh today, including McNeely and Fisher Jameson. You really need a quick inning and go one more inning if you can.
Well, Caglione gets a cleat stuck there. And that'll be ball 1 for a pitch clock violation.
Oh.
Just looks like his back foot just slipped out.
Size 16s.
1-2 is fouled back. So Tennessee continues to do a pretty good job today after striking out a whole bunch yesterday. They're making more contact.
And we've been talking about that, get that pitch count up. That's the game within the game.
16 strikeouts in game number 2 yesterday, game that the Gators won by 1. They lead by 1 here, and there's another strikeout for Caglione, his 5th to get things started in the 5th.
And that windup, when he's coming at you, you are selling out fastball right here because he looks like he's really putting something on it, and then he just takes it off and swing right through it.
And I think you saw a little bit last inning as he threw a lot of pitches, got a little bit tired. He tends to drop his arm slot a little bit. Whenever he's really good, his arm slot's kind of a little bit higher. He's really down through the ball, down the mound. That's when he's at his best. So right there, he did a really good job of that.
Back to the top of the order, Christian Moore misses a changeup.
And that's the beauty of the changeup too. I mean, the more you can throw, the more you can stay in the game. You'll be a little more fresh by doing it. Takes a little less effort.
Another one for strike 2. And Moore's looks like he's just talking to himself.
Yeah.
Saying, dude, I'm looking for 98.
Yeah, he's seen a steady diet of those today.
He's 0 for 2. And Caglione really hasn't thrown the breaking ball a lot. Missed on it early, and they've just stuck with a changeup because it's been working. But now a fastball, and that one is hammered right back into center field. So Moore continues to hit the ball right back up the middle. That's his 5th hit this weekend into straightaway center field.
They're going to charge him rent there in center field. He's been living there all weekend, and he's been hitting it hard in that spot.
Just another really good sign of a good hitter. It's like controlled chaos. It's controlled power, controlled hard swings, quick. With 2 strikes, doesn't do too much, and finally gets the fastball that he's looking for, hits it right back up the middle. And yes, he does need to be charged rent for hitting the ball to center field. That's probably his 6th or 7th hit to center field this weekend.
Now Blake Burke, left on left matchup, and that one is fouled back over our heads. How hard is it? It's always a chess game too when it comes to pitching, and obviously you're back there and calling with Kevin O'Sullivan, but when you throw 5 or 6 changeups in a row, it's like, do you feel like, man, I've got to throw something else just to do it, or do you just stick with it because you know that the opponent's not hitting it? That one to center again. Guy's going to drift back, and he'll have room to catch it just shy of the track. So Moore will retreat back to first base. It's
definitely a little bit of both. You want to continue to do what's working, but good hitters tend to adjust, especially within a game and within at-bats. So, a good hitter like Moore, I don't dislike the fastball right there at all, although he is a really good fastball hitting, player. But you got to get in it up on his hands a little bit more because he starts to lean over the plate with the changeup, and that's really where you tie him up inside versus out over the plate. He's quick enough, strong enough to be able to hit the ball back up the middle like he just did.
Amick will take a changeup down low for ball 1.
We talk about all the accolades of Christian Moore. One of the things that he doesn't do, especially being at the top of the order, he's not a base stealer. Only 1 on the year in 4 attempts. He's been caught 3 times.
Another fly ball to center. And Guy's been a busy guy. Makes a couple of outs this inning. And the 1-out single does not matter. We're halfway through this one. Bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Gators. Crowd in Gainesville swinging and swaying to We Are the Boys of Old Florida tradition here. After the 3rd quarter at football games, after the top of the 5th here at the Condren Ballpark, where a lot of little ones have made their way out tonight, then that was always something you want to see at the ballpark.
Great crowd here tonight. Different type of energy on a Saturday night in the SEC. Pretty cool.
Remember, Mother's Day is coming up next week.
Uh-oh. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what's the uh-oh for?
Hadn't got nothing yet. All right, here's Jalen Guy in the 9-hole. He almost gets hit with a first pitch fastball.
I bet he wished he did for a second.
Guy was the first guy to face Nate Snead a couple of innings ago, and he chopped one to the second baseman.
Yeah, 31 pitches, still throwing hard.
He only threw 7 pitches last inning. Very efficient. But that one will miss up at 98. Guy is making his 18th start of the year. And he misses that one.
Yeah, last year as a freshman at Wichita State, he was somewhere around 55 pitches. I'm sorry, 55 innings that he threw there.
Says no to a couple of pitches, and now the 2-2, and they just stick with the hard stuff. And Guy will head back to the dugout for out number 1.
This ball's going to explode in on his hands.
Almost looked like a little backup cutter right there at 93 miles an hour. Didn't really cut, just kind of stayed up. But hey, that backdoor slider or backup slider and backup cutter is one of the harder pitches to hit in baseball.
So now Cade Curlin back to the top of the Gator order. He misses a cutter.
A double he hit first time up to right center field. Signs of good things to come.
They tried again, and Curlin lays off of that off-speed pitch. That's his 5th hit of the weekend.
Nothing bigger than that tack-on run last night.
This one hit over to Amick, and the throw much better this time than the last one for out number 2. And that was a really good at bat last night. He had fouled off several pitches.
Stayed alive and then just put it in play. And talking about put it in play, good things will happen.
I'd like to see Cag's adjustment right here. Obviously got a hit last inning or 2 innings ago on a fastball out over the plate, but let's see what he does a little bit more on the inside of the plate here.
He again swings at the first pitch, got an off-speed pitch, and fouled it off. Not only the 26-game hitting streak, Caglione has now reached base in 33 straight games. His average up to .410.
What was Jacob Young's somewhere around 30?
30, right at 30.
Right at it, yep. Washington Nationals.
Good pitch in. Get Cags to foul it off. And he sees creeping closer and closer to Matt Laporta.
The amazing thing is how many years that he's been here to put up those numbers.
Right, tried to come in again, and that'll plunk him. So Cags on base, some boos throughout the crowd, but nothing intentional there, just trying to play baseball. And you mentioned Jacob Young.
Yeah.
As that one got him on that front leg. So last week against the Marlins, this is pretty crazy.
And this is a stat after my own heart here, which you're about to read.
First major league player with 9+ runs and 6+ stolen bases in a single series since June of 1911.
But he's got some crazy streak going where he hasn't been thrown out in X amount in a row.
So 25 straight stolen bases to start off his career.
There you go.
The most ever in Major League Baseball history is 29. So Jacob Young could do something that nobody else has done in the history of Major League Baseball.
Go get him.
And in the age of baseball where pitchers are so hitter-centric in the at-bat rather than holding base runners and actually, controlling the game as much, and they're very high leg kicks because they're trying to throw as hard as they can. It definitely is easier to steal bases along with the big base. The bases that that are out there now.
Well, the bases are no longer 90 feet apart.
That's crazy.
It's as simple as that. I mean, Abner Doubleday's turning over in his grave at Arlington National Cemetery, I may add, because I've been to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
2-0 to number 2, and Evans will pop one up. He hit a 2-run homer his first time up and reached on a big error by Amick. He overshot the first baseman, and Caglione came around to score with 2 outs back in the third. Same exact situation as the Gators are in right now. And Evans will foul that one back to even up the count. So let's see that shot that Evans got.
Hello. Kept his hands back.
414 feet. Estimated 36-degree launch angle. And now the 2-2 pitch is hit down the right field line. That's curving and will be into the berm. BT, how do you feel about anybody over the age of 18 bringing a glove to the ballpark?
Hey, if you're a true baseball fan and you want to come to the ballpark and bring your glove and protect yourself, or try to make a really good play and end up on the Sports Center top 10, I'm all for it.
But you make a
or
better,
use your beer.
Yeah, you make a better
too.
play if you're holding a beer and then you make
And
a
a
one-handed catch.
And a baby.
Yeah, there's been
Keep adding on to it.
Some great ones over the years. Good pitch right there, and Evans is going to go down. They've got to throw him out, and Stark does it successfully to retire the side. So 2 more strikeouts for Nate Snead, and the Gators throw up their second consecutive 0. We'll head to the 6th. Gators lead at 3-2. Top of the 6th here in Gainesville. Still plenty of daylight, and still some left for Jack Caglione as he is back to the mound. He's given up 2 runs on 5 hits. Caglione has struck out 5 as well, with just the 1 walk issued. Something cool happened in between innings. It was the Lion King cam, and BT Rypel held up Nick Belmonte. Got on the big screen out there.
So cool.
I realized you were still so strong, man.
So cool.
And we will show you the footage right there. They got down to the stands pretty quickly. And now back here in the booth, Jeff Cardozo alongside. Happy you have joined us. Scott Snyder is our producer. Scooter does a great job as always, as Steve Egan does as well, feeding us all the information to make us sound way smarter than we really are. 4, 5, and 6 here for the Tennessee Volunteers. Gators trying to beat Tennessee in a series for the 2nd straight year. Got them a couple of times in Knoxville. And a first pitch is strike 1 to Kavaris Tears. 0 for 2. He has grounded to third and flown to center. This will be the 85th pitch for Caglione. And it's a breaking ball that misses off the plate. Last time that Caglione went this long was the very end of March, 5 2/3 against Mississippi State. Longest outing of the year was 7, when he only gave up 1 run over 7 innings in Baton Rouge. The 2-1 pitch is grounded foul, and BT, I'm sure that start meant a lot to him after what happened at the end of the year last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, as the last game of the year didn't have the start that he wanted, but really went in there and took it personal for himself and went out there and threw really well in Baton Rouge, and has done that consistently throughout the entire year. Obviously, right now in this game specifically, ran his pitch count up a little bit 2 innings ago, had a quick inning last inning. To be able to come into the 6th right here with a very bullpen that was heavily used yesterday in 18 innings that they played. So it was great for him. He needs to go out here and shut down right here.
But he tries to throw a changeup to Tears, and it misses off the plate. So it will be a leadoff walk. But I think that has been the difference. I think everybody knows his talent and everything that he can do, swinging a bat or throwing a baseball or even fielding a baseball. But the mind is such a big part of things. And his mindset, his ability to forget about the previous pitch or the previous whatever has been incredible this year. Here's Dylan Dreiling, and Dreiling hits one well down the right field line. Evans trying to chase it down, dives, and it's off of his glove, and it'll be a fair ball, says the first base umpire. So that's going to be a double, and the Vols all of a sudden have 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
It's a heck of an effort by Evans right there. Really tough ball. I mean, the outfield shaded a little bit more to the left side with an inside-out hitter in Dreiling, but yeah, caught it and touched it inside the baseline.
He had it
for
in
a
his
double
glove
right there.
too. I mean, he had the catch, so the glove hit the ground. And we've seen him make great catches through the years, right in that spot.
So Kevin O'Sullivan will head out and grab the baseball from Jack Caglione. And he'll get a standing ovation once again from the sellout crowd here at the Condren Ballpark. Ryan Slater The next arm for the Gators, we'll tell you about him when we come back. Well, big spot in the ball game. Gators up by 1, but Tennessee has 2 in scoring position, nobody out, and Ryan Slater will try to wiggle out of some damage.
Yeah, you know, we've seen Ryan through the years. When the slider's hot, he can get outs, no question about it. And he's here in a rough spot right now with the potential tie run at third base, nobody out. One of his biggest challenges this year for sure. You see Jack's line so far. The changeup was working. That was his go-to pitch today, but responsible for those runners at second and third.
And for me, as much as you don't want to give up a run here, it is second and third with no outs. The mindset has to be out collecting, get as many outs as you can, sacrifice a run for an out.
Get out one.
Don't let a crooked number get on the board. Maybe get a strikeout, a pop-up or something like that and get out with 1. That's really the mindset you have to have.
Gators will play the corners even with the bags. Middle infielders back for the freshman shortstop, Dean Curley. And the first pitch to him is fouled off on that Slater slider.
Now let's talk about that, Jeff. So the runner at third, what has he been told? Well, the way they're playing it, even at third base, they're telling him, unless it's a slow roller, you're seeing it through. Now you're going if it's hit to the right side. You're only holding up if it goes to third.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. Good slider there, puts Slater way ahead. And now you get greedy and try to get the strikeout.
And pressure on Donet to block that ball if he buries one here.
A deep breath and the 0-2 pitch way off the plate. And Slater doesn't like the baseball.
Obviously he bounced that, Donet smothered it.
And that's always the catcher's job. You know, even with a guy on third base, you want to bury an 0-2 pitch and make sure that guy back there does what he was supposed to. So now the 1-2, and it's down in the dirt again. Curley lays off of it.
I like how he blocked that one a little better. The glove up.
Yeah, I mean, as a catcher right now, it's all about really doing everything. You got to feel yourself in your mind. I'm a brick wall. Nothing's getting by me. Doing everything in my power to keep everything in front, no matter how it's done.
2-2 pitch. A little blooper down the right field line. That'll be foul.
Good piece of hitting right there. That was a nasty slider. He just got a piece of it.
So this goes back to that conversation like we had when Christian Moore was up there. There was a lot of off-speed pitches. Cags ended up throwing a fastball where Moore got the hit. Do you still stick with the slider here?
Absolutely. You need a strikeout right here.
With your best pitch.
Absolutely.
Another 2-2 coming. And it is lined back up the middle again. That'll fall in front of Jalen Guy. And that one got too much home plate, and all of a sudden we are tied at 3 apiece.
Yeah, location got him there.
Yeah, it was really one of the ones that kind of stayed up in the middle of the zone, kind of outer third, right down the kind of the center of the plate, and just did a really good job of hitting it up the middle. Ball's got to be down a little bit more. I mean, I don't want to give up a pitch and just bounce everything because you'll walk him, but walking him isn't the worst thing in the world. You needed a strikeout right there.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to Curley there. And
we've seen him do it all weekend with the 2-strike foul balls.
So now Hunter Ensley, as Pierce Capola continues to warm in that Gator bullpen. Ensley had the big hit off of Caglione. 2-strike, 2-out double down the left field line, and he will take strike 1. So it's been all sliders from Slater. Middle infielders at double play depth. Shellnut back to playing a normal third base. And there is strike 2. First fastball caught the outer part of the plate.
When Tennessee had Tidwell there when they were pitching sensation, Ensley came in with him, then had to redshirt a bunch of times through injury. Finally got his shot to play last year. So you talk about waiting your turn. Ensley's that guy.
So Slater got up 0-2 on the last hitter. And 0-2 again this one.
Run saver.
Yep. Good job by Donay.
Really good job by Donay, not only keeping it in front, not allowing the guy from third base to score, but keeping it close enough to him to where the guy from first base can't get into scoring position where a base hit can score too.
And get you out of that double play.
Here's the 1-2, and that one is hammered down the left field line. It's going to be another double for Ensley. Tennessee's got the lead by 1, and they're going to try to make it 2. Here comes the relay throw, and it's Tardy. And Ensley's having a heck of a day in the 7-hole. Back-to-back doubles, and he is now driven in 4.
I mean, for the Vols, it looks like the scouting report's out. Slater looks like he's just going to spin sliders over and over. The Vols are hunting it for sure. Left one over the plate again. Hit the ball down in the corner for another double for Ensley.
He's only thrown 1 fastball through 2 hitters, and the 2 balls that were hit didn't slide too well. So now Robin Villeneuve, he'll get his second at bat. Cag struck him out last time as he came up as a pinch hitter. So Caglione now in line for the loss as 4 earned runs, 4 of the 5 were his responsibility.
This is coming from the dugout, just trying to bide some time to get Coppola loose.
Well, Kate Fisher's starting to throw now.
And he just started throwing.
Yeah, Coppola's still down there tossing, but not on the mound anymore. So maybe with the Gators not having the lead, they'll save Coppola, who got hot the other day and was walking in from the bullpen. Game was about to start. They were about to throw the ceremonial first pitch, and all of a sudden they stopped it. Put the tarp on and never played the rest of the day.
Villanueva is a guy from Quebec, was a hockey player. Actually led the JUCO ranks last year with 28 home runs and count them 102 RBIs. You know this guy's got pop.
The 1-2 is hit hard at his teammates.
Yeah, you're thinking job one here is to get him over to third base by hitting the ball on the right side, but he's just up there wailing.
4 straight Volunteers have reached this inning. Slater trying to just get an out.
Yeah, it looks like the Vols are just seeing Slater really well right now, and they're getting their swing off. They're not worried about situational hitting by any stretch right now. They're trying to get their swing off and do damage.
Yeah, there's unloosening the top button.
Good take again for ball 3.
Well, that's one of those, if you get that call, it could be an inning changer.
And there is a swing and a miss. So better slider there. Slater gets the first out of the inning.
Looks like a corner fastball on the black and just dives right out of there, gets him to bite.
But you see the difference there on the balls that were hit and the one that wasn't hit. Location so important in the game of baseball for all you youngsters out there. You don't have to throw 95. You just got to mix up your pitches and put it in the right spots, just like we saw in game 1 from Tennessee the other day and what they were doing with Stamos and then Causey coming in.
Let's see if that unproductive out comes back to haunt him.
Stark has been really good with runners in scoring position this year, 375. But he misses another slider.
He's thrown his best sliders last couple pitches.
Yeah, he's starting to get more comfortable with that pitch. Stark just a 258 overall hitter, though. He has singled and struck out today.
And Jeff, you talk about location. Growing up in Atlanta, was a huge Atlanta Braves fan, and growing up watching a little bit before my time, but Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux, I mean, never once they overpower anybody, but boy, could they locate and get people out at a very effective clip.
Couple of Hall of Famers.
Hey, speaking of major leaguers, Christian Scott getting his start at Gator. And another Gator making it to the big leagues. Now the Mets have 4 Gators in their lineup.
Yeah, pretty cool. And
how about that?
I need to see it down in Tampa, where I have a lot of friends and family at the Trop watching him do his thing. 1-2 pitch. Fought off again.
And Christian Scott played for the Gators, back around, 2019, somewhere in there. But yeah, he called up from Syracuse where he was dominating. And he's added the sweeper to his repertoire, and he's saying that's what got him to the big leagues.
Yeah, he was their best arm in AAA by far. Slater ready again. The 1-2 pitch off the plate. One of the few fastballs that he has thrown.
Remember when Christian Scott threw the gyro slider? That was his pitch.
Never got to play with Christian, but heard a lot of really good things about him, and obviously a great thrower of the baseball.
Stark battling here. That one right off the end of the bat, but he stays alive to see another pitch. So another big leaguer for Kevin O'Sullivan. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat.
But how about that? 4 members of the Mets roster are Florida Gators.
They don't have to change their colors.
Came from that man right there, Kevin O'Sullivan.
And to think that Sully's had 2 starting rotations in his tenure at Florida within, the last decade of all 3 starting rotation guys could potentially either are or could potentially be big leaguers. And Brandon Sproat, Hurston Waldrop, and Caglione now. And then Jackson Kowar, Faedo, and Brady Singer.
Singer's lighting it up this year, too.
Oh, yeah.
So Sully out to the mound, and Slater not happy with what he did out on the mound. So he will be exiting from this game, and Cade Fisher will be the new arm for Florida. We'll give you his numbers when we come back. Well, the Gators have to go to the bullpen once again. 3rd arm this inning, and it's back to a left-hander in sophomore Cade Fisher.
17th appearance on the year, 9th in relief. And we've seen Cade throw on midweek starter the last couple of weeks. And 90-94 in the fastball, sweeping breaking ball, and a changeup. See, the numbers on the strikeouts to walks are pretty good. Hits a little high, but big opportunity to keep Tennessee right where they are and not tack on to this 2-run lead that they have.
Well, 5 of the 6 Volunteers that have come to the plate have reached this inning. A walk and a double. Got Kaggs out of the game. And then Slater faces 4, giving up single, a double, got a strikeout, and hitter batter. There's strike 1 to Christian Moore. Leadoff man singled back up the middle his first time. It was his 5th single of the weekend. All right back up the middle. Fisher wide on a breaking ball.
For me right here, the entire day, Christian Moore has seen balls over the outer third of the plate. He's kind of been leaning a little bit. I know he's a fastball hitter inside, but you got to show him something in to keep him off the pitches away.
And that's what they try to do. Some more resets. Back in the box with his .376 batting average and 20 home runs. There's a changeup back up the middle again, and Curlin can't corral it. That'll trickle into center field. 6th hit this weekend for Christian Moore, and the Vols keep coming here in the 6th inning.
Maybe it's rent control. Back to center field he goes.
Well, his last at bat, we established that he needs to start paying rent. Now the rent just went up.
It's crazy. I mean, he has just owned center field. And now it gets real dangerous.
And now you look at this, and it's a lefty-lefty matchup, and you can see how it might play, into the favor of the Gators. But Blake Burke does a really good job of hitting left-handed hitters, specifically the off-speed pitches.
Well, Kate Fisher wanted to go from the windup, then stepped off and said, I'll go from the stretch. And the first pitch to Blake Burke is in there for strike 1. Burke hitting .500 this year with the bases loaded. And .474 with runners in scoring position. So a guy that certainly has been good for Tennessee. But he's able to check his swing there, says the crew chief, Jeff Head. Burke 0 for 2 today.
I mean, whatever you do, you got to keep it down around his knees. Something that could possibly hit a ground ball. You get the 2 for 1.
His only ground.
Exactly what you want to do, but he is such a good low ball hitter.
Well, the Tennessee dugout going to complain about that one.
He's a good high ball hitter.
How about this? He's just a good hitter.
He's a good hitter. Turn all the cards over.
That's right.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out. And Fisher's pitch is not close. So now he's got to come in with something. Burke has only grounded into 1 double play all year. And again, a good job by a Tennessee hitter fouling off a 2-strike pitch.
Burke definitely seen the ball well this weekend.
I mean, that's a drum we've been beating all weekend on the foul balls with 2 strikes. I mean, Tennessee has been doing that since
driving pitch count up,
first
having
game, yeah.
8 to 10 pitch at bats, and then getting on base after. Quality at bats are, yes, seeing a bunch of pitches, but you also have to see results at the end.
And that one just missed. I'm not sure where, but Chris Smith says it was somewhere off the plate, and Tennessee is going to get their 4th run of the inning.
Wow. That looks like it cut diagonally across the plate.
Well, and look at where he is set up. And again, you look at umpires and everybody's got different style. I know Donay's big, so you're trying to get an angle there, but it seems like if you're set up in the other batter's box, it's going to be really tough to see the other side of the plate. Here's Billy Amick, pops up the first pitch. In foul territory, Heyman's going to try to get it, but it'll be into the seats.
Well, it seems, to be the tendency of umpires where they always set up on the inside part of the plate because it's the hardest to see. For a righty, he's on the inside of the plate on the left side. For a lefty, he's on the right side of the plate. So I guess you're kind of susceptible to maybe missing a pitch on the outer half, but, being an umpire is tough.
Yep.
It's so tough.
Amick misses that breaking ball. With the bases loaded, he's hitting .500 this year. So a couple of guys that have done a lot of damage have come up with the Volunteers in prime position to score more. The 0-2 is fouled back.
They just spoil pitch after pitch.
And really good pitches too, and that's the demoralizing part to a pitcher. I've talked to pitchers all the time where you foul those off. Like, all right, just get a hit already. Just get. I don't want to throw 10 more pitches then give up a hit. Get a hit now.
And Amick will do that again.
And once again, that pitch is just dotted on the down side of the zone, outer corner of the plate, and just spoil a really good pitch.
We talked about this early in the year. With Tony Gwynn, what made him such a great hitter is that fouling off so many good pitches to where he finally got one and flicked it in the left center.
And as a hitter, you don't just go up there and, oh, I'm just going to spoil a bunch of pitches and then get a hit. It's truly something that you have to groom yourself mentally. Like, I am comfortable being uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable situation. I'm one strike away from striking out. You know, that's going to happen, but I'm not going to go up there and be timid. I'm going to go up there and just keep spoiling pitches and get the one over the plate and then do some damage with it.
You know, in this scenario as a hitter, I would always go up there going, okay, I got a 1-2 count, but heck, the pressure's on him. Bases are loaded. He's got to get me out. That's the mindset you have to have. He's the one up there gripping right now, not me.
Absolutely. You know, the mindset didn't really work for me, but it definitely can work for other people, I promise.
Another good at bat here by Amick.
That was one of those pesky two-hole hitters.
Not leadoff?
No, I was always a two-hole. A little bit, but I enjoyed two-hole over leadoff. Man.
So Burke saw 9 pitches. This will be the 8th to Amick. And it is hit out into the left center field gap. Ballpark will hold it. Yost will make the catch. Throw will come to third. Run will easily tag and score. That is Stark, and is now a 5 spot here in the inning for Tennessee, and that just the second out.
Well, productive out, got it in play. Talking about all those 2-strike foul balls and get it in play. So nice at bat.
And whenever you put together quality at bats, you know, back to back, and you stack them all together, this is what you get, and you hit around in an inning.
So Tennessee now up 4, a 7-3 game here in Gainesville. And the guy that started the inning, Kavares Tears, will hit again. Tears walked. And what seems like about an hour ago, Caglione was still in there. Good fastball there for strike 2, and they're just going to let the runner get to second base. So 2 more in scoring position now. And even go back to it, remember, if Evans is able to catch that ball by Dreiling down the right field line, this inning's completely different. Ball that was in his glove. There's a swing and a miss. Gets away from Donay, so they'll have to throw him out and don't. And 2 runs are going to score. So the wheels just falling apart for the Gators here as Donay's throw was not even in the area code of first base. And Tennessee now has a 6-run lead.
Yeah, the hard part about this is out number 3 here on the swing and miss.
Out number 3, and the biggest thing is you have a self-inflicted wound where you don't block it, but don't turn one mistake into 2. I know you're trying to get an out, but you can't be a hero. Turns into 2 runs instead of 1.
So a 7 spot for Tennessee. This is an offense that hasn't really done much all weekend long, but they have exploded here with the help of some mistakes by the Gators. Here's Dreiling. He'll take strike 1. Dreiling is the one who hit that ball down the right field line. It was just fair. Evans had a long way to go get it. Dove, hit off the edge of his glove, trickled into foul territory, and then that would be it for Cags. Slater couldn't get anybody out. And now Cade Fisher is working on a 27-pitch inning. And that one misses. Swing and a miss there will even up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes, or bring it full. Dreiling's got a single and a double. And his 51 ribbies are more than anybody else on this team. And he'll stay alive.
I don't know if we have a number on it and how we're going to get it, but how many two-strike foul balls have they hit this weekend? It's just been incredible. It's got to be somewhere, what, between 50 and 60, I would think.
And that one will miss. So another walk, 30 pitches now for Fisher in the inning. And the 12th man to come to the plate will be Dean Curley.
The shortstop, number 23, Dean Curley.
Curley had a big hit and another two-strike hit earlier this inning. Slater had gotten ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes, tried to throw him another slider, and he hit it right back up the middle. Curlin was so good a year ago for the Gators. Just hasn't been able to be the same guy this year.
And at this point, Tennessee's pitcher needs to start staying loose somehow. I mean, he's been in the dugout for a really long time. And
I think he went back to the hotel and got some spa treatments. Might come back with a pedicure.
When's the last time you got one?
Oh, wonderful. Are you kidding me?
You do wonders, huh?
Yeah, man, base runners get pedis. No doubt it.
never really was a base runner.
2-2 is hit hard. That's going to find left field. Yost will pick it up. They're going to send the runner. Throw is up the line, though, and it's another run and another RBI for Curley. His second hit, second RBI this inning. And it's now a 10-3 Tennessee lead.
Really good teams take advantage of other teams' mistakes. Obviously, the Vols are up there just swinging, getting a whole lot of hits, but whenever the Gators are making mistakes, they are most definitely capitalizing on everything that the Gators are doing.
This guy has been really good tonight for Tennessee. Hunter Ensley had the big hit off the Caglione in the fourth. 2 strikes, 2 outs, a double that drove in 2, and then he did it again here in the 6th. This one out to right. Evans going back. He's still going back, and it's going to leave the yard. An opposite field 3-run shot, and Hunter Ensley has 7 RBI, 5 this inning. And the Vols have just completely opened this thing up with an 11 spot here in the 6th inning.
I mean, when you're swinging it well and you're seeing it well, there's no hiding it.
Two doubles and a home run for Ensley tonight.
That'll help the slugging percentage.
The guy that waited his turn finally got it last year.
Well, and you would think 7 ribbies in a game is a lot for a team, but you've already had Billy Amick do it this year. Dean Curley had 9 in a game.
Wow.
That was against Kansas State. That was 1 shy of the team record. So Ensley's 3 away from tying the team record. And that ball's all the way to the backstop. Gators finally have somebody up in the bullpen. This will be the 41st pitch of the inning for Cade Fisher. And finally, the last one as Villeneuve strikes out. But Tennessee puts up 11 runs in the inning. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Tennessee 13, Florida 3. Well, starting to get dark here at the Condren Ballpark in Gainesville. Lights not out on the Gators yet, but Tennessee trying for the knockout punch. 11 runs in the top of the 6th inning. Florida Gator pitchers threw 73 pitches in that inning. And Colby Shelton will lead things off with a line drive into right field. So he jumped on a first pitch fastball. Nate Snead was probably taking a nap in the clubhouse during that time, so he's got to wake back up. And we'll see what the Gators can do to try to fight back into this thing.
Well, we know Snead just throws a lot of fastballs, probably about 80%, but that's his job right here, just to throw it over the plate with that big lead. And
Absolutely.
Gator hitters have to be aware of that too. He's not going to try to finesse you here.
I mean, statistics say they're only going to get a hit at best 3 out of 10 times.
Right.
Throw the ball over the middle of the plate and let your defense go to work.
Here's Shellnut, 0 for 2 tonight. One of 4 Gators to strike out. Gators had an early 3-0 lead. But have not scored since that. And Shellnut down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Shellnut this weekend, a couple of hits, 2 for 9. Snead over 50 pitches now. He came in back in the 3rd inning. And he's been good. Shellnut stays alive on a breaking ball there.
Yeah, Snead has been impressive since he's come in. Explosive arm.
Extremely impressive. Never understood the pitchers looking back
Yeah, over the right shoulder.
over the right shoulder to see, you know, as I never pitched, but
You
I know
can't see anything.
You can't see anything anyway.
No.
You see him before you come set. Once you come set, you don't see anything.
I have the answer.
Okay.
As a base runner, at least the non-astute ones, it slows them down because it makes you think that they know what you're doing. So it's actually a look to keep you at bay at first base. Whether it works or not, the base runner is fooled.
Shellnut fooled with a little slider, and he will strike out for the 2nd time today.
But now that Jeff Cardoza has given out the
secret?
the secret right there.
That you can't see anything?
Yeah. He just keeps dealing with the big lead.
Donay's 0 for 2, but he's had a good weekend. Been swinging it well of late. He'll take that one off the plate. Came in 8 for his last 15. And Donay has hit in 10 of the last 13 games for the Gators. Average is almost up to 300. That one almost got a piece of him.
It's all about getting base runners right now because you got to put a cricket number up, get back in this thing.
And Snead can't find it. Stark coming out and saying, hey, dude, look at the scoreboard. We're up 10. Throw a strike.
That's right. I mean, you need to make the Gators hit you to death because whenever you walk guys on base, then you start getting hits. That's when you start scoring more runs, momentum comes. And that's just kind of how it works. You need to really just fill down the, the middle of the plate. Say, here's my best stuff, hit it.
Well, the conversation didn't work. 4 straight wide ones.
There you go.
And the Gators have a couple on with 1 out.
And it's a tough feat coming back 10 runs and you have 4 at-bats left, but you have to continue to chip away and give yourself a chance, a fighting chance. At 3-4 run deficit in the 9th inning, anything can happen, but you got to get back to it and get guys on base.
Heyman hitting down in the 7 hole today. Has popped up twice, once to first and once to the catcher. And he'll take a fastball off the plate for ball 1. Bottom part of the order has really done nothing tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 have not recorded a hit for the Gators. This one out to right, but the new right fielder, Chapman, is going to run it down. Shelton will tag, so he'll make it over to third base, but now 2 outs here in the inning. And now Hayden Yost will try to get his first hit of the weekend. Had a 5-game hitting streak coming into the weekend, 9 for 15 in that streak, but 0 for 10 so far against Tennessee.
And a really good series against Arkansas.
Yep. And that continued into the midweek game against FAU. That one chopped to the first baseman, but foul. Off of the foot in the box. Yost lays off a 96 there. Steen trying to get him to chase, but he doesn't. Yost has driven in just 1 run all year, so we'll see if he can get Shelton in and eliminate the 10-run deficit. That one right off the end of the bat. And nice job by David down there.
What's impressed me about Snead, 100 miles an hour on his 65th pitch.
And he'll get Yost at 94. And the Gators leave a couple in the 6th. So we head to the 7th. Tennessee up 10 in Gainesville. Top of the 7th here at the Condren Ballpark. 3rd-ranked Tennessee putting a pounding on the Gators, 13-3. Florida's managed just 4 hits. Hunter Ensley has had himself a day. 2 doubles and a homer, 7 ribbies for him. And that 11 spot where the Gators threw 73 pitches in the top of the 6th inning. Gators have just not been able to capitalize with runners on base in the early going, just 1 for 9. So Landon Russell's going to get an opportunity, the sophomore from Alabama.
3rd appearance. Only he's thrown 1 inning. This is his first SEC appearance. JUCO transfer.
Yeah, that's a guy that just kind of epitomizes everything for Kevin O'Sullivan. Catches, and you know, we saw him earlier this year. He was warming up in the bullpen, and then he needed to go throw on the gear as well. So he just does everything.
Yeah, he is the Swiss Army knife. To me, it's a comp of Charlie Culbertson in the MLB. Played for a very long time. Obviously can pitch, play middle infield. He's an outfielder. He's played and started a few times out there this year. And now with the catching injury to Tanner Garrison, they definitely need to fill that with both Donay and Heyman playing every single day too. So, yep, he definitely is a Swiss Army knife.
And, you know, a guy that really just had been begging Kevin O'Sullivan to do something. And they know that he's got a nice arm, and he's pitched in the past, so tried him out there one day when the relievers were struggling, and he's done a good job. He's a nice, sharp slider. And we'll see if he can have a clean inning here. And there's that slider, but it backs up, and it is a strike to the 9-hole hitter. Well, Gators down 10 here. Vanderbilt, for the 2nd time in 2 days, loses by 10 to Georgia. Georgia beats them 14-4 today after beating Vandy 10-0 yesterday. So that Georgia squad at home has been really, really good.
It's easy to play well when you have one of the best players in the country, for sure.
Here's a line drive and another 2-strike hit for Tennessee. as Cal Stark deposits one into left field. Yeah, Charlie Condon hit another homer today. That is 32 now on the year, and we all know that Jack Caglione had 9 games in a row of hitting a homer. Condon's up to 6 straight. He's been special up there in Athens, and not sure if that guy right there, Jack Caglione, can catch him at this point. So he's 1 away from the 33 that Caglione hit last year, the BB Core record.
And he's still guaranteed, what, about 12, 14 games left in postseason. He can hit that, the way he's going, hit that 40 mark.
Christian Moore up there, and he'll foul that one off, so he's behind in the count 0-2, but Moore's probably saying, hey, that's right where I want it.
Yeah, Christian Moore's saying that we're playing in Tennessee and we make a run in the postseason. I can do it too.
You talk about shifts. I want to put like 7 guys in center field against this.
Well, they did that with Condon at A&M.
This one is hit well to right. Evans drifting back, but he's going to run out of room, and that's into the Gator bullpen. So Moore with his 21st homer of the year, 3rd straight at bat with a hit. And Tennessee has put up 15 now on the Gators.
He is as advertised.
Saw him his freshman year, and I went, wait a minute, who is this guy? And he's just gotten better every year. And highly coveted come draft time, one would think. Just tried to challenge with a fastball and swing oppo.
And you know, he's a really great player now, but to see him over his 3 years at Tennessee and the way he's matured physically, mentally, obviously you can see by his body. If you were to look at, you know, side-by-side pictures of his freshman year and his junior year now, he has put on a lot of strength and a lot of muscle and really morphed his body in the weight room. Done a lot of good things.
He hit the big home run here his freshman year.
2 years ago, that's right.
In 11th inning.
Blake Burke in there. Some other scores from around the league. Big series is in Kentucky this weekend. Arkansas and Hagen Smith got the best of Kentucky yesterday, but they rebound in a big way. And Kentucky puts a whooping on the Razorbacks, 11-3 today to even up that series. As Burke hits one hard the other way, and that ball's going to get out. So the 2 best home run hitters in Tennessee history have gone back-to-back. It's the 48th for Moore, the 45th career for Blake Burke. And Landon Russell's not fooling anybody. Well, they also went back-to-back at Kentucky a few weeks ago. So those guys do that a lot, and Burke knew it immediately.
It was just a matter of how far it was going to go.
So you look at now the race for the SEC. Of course, Florida won that last year, and there's the fur that the players get.
Yeah, that's something they've been carrying around for a couple of years.
Yep, did the jacket a few years ago, and you could actually walk out onto the field and
the hat,
put it on.
The pink hat, and the story in the pink hat, they bought it at a truck stop and brought it in and became part of their routine that they do.
This one's hit pretty well by Amick out to right center field, but the ballpark will hold it, and Evans will run it down for the first out of the inning. So you would think with a 13-run lead, Tennessee would win this game, and that would bring them to 17-7 now in SEC play. One of those 2 teams are going to lose tomorrow, either Arkansas or Kentucky, so they'll drop to 17-7, and then the winner will be 18-6. So Tennessee, at worst, is just going to be 1 game out of the SEC race after this weekend.
Yeah, with 2 weekends to go.
That one fouled straight back. Tennessee goes to Vandy next weekend, and then they'll finish at home against South Carolina. And Vanderbilt is a much different team.
Absolutely.
At home on the road. Tavares Tears hits one foul.
I know looking back on it, Tennessee is definitely going to wish they took care of business on the Gators yesterday. Super tough to win 2 games in a doubleheader in one day. But I know, I mean, maybe, down the road playing a Vandy team at home, very tough. And then South Carolina's as hot as anybody right now, too, and they're playing really good baseball. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be definitely going to be a race like the Kentucky Derby today to see who wins the league this year.
Chopper foul. Missouri actually got the best of South Carolina today. Missouri beat South Carolina 8-3 to win their 7th game.
Is that Pimentel? He's a good pitcher for Mizzou. I'm not saying he threw. Every time they win, I'm going. He might have been the guy
he's out
on
there
the
throwing.
Yeah.
Carter Rustad is the one that got the win. And there's a strikeout. So Landon Russell gets the K, his first one in SEC play. And there's 2 outs in the inning. Robert Satin starts to warm up in the Gator bullpen just in case. Big one going on in Baton Rouge this weekend as well with Texas A&M and LSU.
I was about to say Texas A&M too. I mean, they're 15-7 in the league.
Yep.
They could finish out winning the series this weekend as well. Dropped one last night, but very could easily find themselves winning the league as well. So there's 4 teams right now that could end up winning this thing.
Ariel Antigua is a pinch hitter here. We've seen him as a pinch runner in each of the first 2 games, and then he stayed to play. He's a Florida native from West Palm, just a freshman. He's hitting for Dreiling.
Interesting. I was looking at the box. Pimentel only threw a third of an inning on the start today. Gave up a hit, 2 walks, struck out a guy. So I don't know if he got hurt or what happened there. That's odd. The best starter.
Another 2-strike pitch fouled off. Yeah, LSU with a big win yesterday, but you look at where LSU is record-wise, and a team that won the national title, they're just 8-14. So 2 games even worse than what the Gators are. It just shows you year in and year out, it's really, really tough to be consistent.
I mean, you look at Mississippi State a few years ago, and after they won it, they were 500 in the league and 500 overall. Ole Miss did the exact same thing, down year, and then LSU.
That they did. All right, Gators coming up in the bottom of the 7th. They need some runs. Well, it's been a long day in Gainesville with softball across the street, baseball here tonight. Great camera crew working long days. You saw Rachel there. There's Haley out there in center field. There's Jeff on the dugout side doing his thing. And, of course, Big Eddie, who has been doing it for a long, long time. Such a phenomenal crew that works really hard and brings you the best of the best when it's all said and done.
We got Trey up here next to us in the booth as well.
Gators got a pinch hitter up there, Blake Brookins. So all 4 of those that we showed you, double duty today. They've got to be tired after the doubleheader yesterday. Certainly earning the Pepsis that they get for bringing you the broadcasts. Brookins will go down. Good fastball again, as Nate Snead is still out there for Tennessee, and he's just pumping strikes. 3 innings so far of relief.
They have not used that many pitchers this weekend.
I'll tell you, the relief pitching for Tennessee this weekend has not been talked about enough.
No, A.J. Causey was amazing. I was talking to Tony Vitello about it. I said, what that guy did yesterday was crazy. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts.
Armando Albert's going to hit.
Obviously, he's a starter.
Sure.
By trade. I mean, they use an opener, but regardless, that is a relief appearance, and he did an unbelievable job yesterday, and it's not stopping right now.
Well, and that's what really helps their numbers. You look at what they did against Missouri last week in their sweep of Missouri. Bullpen allowed just 1 run over 13 innings. So that's an earned run average of .69. And they struck out 11. So back-to-back weekends, and that certainly is aided by that duo when you get A.J. Causey in there doing his thing. And Causey has been special over the last 4 weeks. He moved into the bullpen during the LSU series, and his earned run average is under 2.
And they've only used 5 relief pitchers the entire weekend, and a guy like Dylan Loy only threw 1/3 of an inning. And Combs threw 1 inning. And I was talking to Tony Vitello. I said that combo that you do with Causey, he goes, yeah, we're going to keep riding that.
Grounder to short, gobbled up by the shortstop, Antigua, and he will throw across for out number 2. Well, this is a 10-run rule game, so the Gators now down to their last out as Dale Thomas will come to the plate, and this the last chime that we may get to talk to BT Riopel, who has joined the broadcast this year. BT, I know it was probably a lot of fun being down there, getting harassed by umpires and fans, and having fun with visiting teams. But we've certainly loved having you up here in the booth.
Yeah.
And we want to wish you the best of luck with the wedding.
Thank you.
God bless you, and enjoy that.
Yeah.
That chapter of your life.
Yeah, this has been a really cool experience. Truly appreciate the opportunity. I know Sean got it started, but all you guys on board, and our producer Scott Snyder got me on board, and it's been super fun. Hope to join you guys next year as well. But yeah, it's been a great experience up here, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you get to talk baseball, man.
Oh, that's easy.
And you certainly know the game. That's an easy thing to do. As Dale Thomas is up there trying to keep things alive. And, I guess it's more mellow up here than being down there in the heart of all the action.
A little bit more mellow for sure.
When you get to step away from it and just watch baseball and talk about it for a living, it's a really darn good thing. And that's a really good relief effort by Nate Snead. He will finish off the game, goes 5 innings, strikes out 7, and Tennessee run rules the Gators here tonight, winning it 16-3.
Well, you still got a chance. You got Kentucky coming in. You got Georgia, but also that big midweek game is going to be important against USF this Tuesday as well.
Toughest thing in baseball is to be able to flush a hard loss and not drag it with you to the next game, but that's what the Gators have to do and continue to try to just win games. Yep,
they've been able to do it all season long. So for my partners, Nick Belmonte and BT Riopel, our producer Scott Snyder, statistician Steve Egan, I'm Jeff Cardozo. Have a good rest of your Saturday night.